Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Leia Sonre. Have you ever tired of working from paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet, and wondering why others effortlessly create wealth and living their dreams and creating financial freedom for their life? The truth is, creating wealth is not just working harder, but working smarter and use the right strategies. Today, I want to show you 4 creation ways and how you can create everything with these creation procedures, and how the wealthy people use all the procedures and master the two out of all the procedures. So today I want to show you why when you walk into hotel room, you have the cleaner, you have the manager, and you have the owner of the hotel, and why the cleaner that work the most is the one that getting least of the money, and why the owner of the hotel that work the least get the lump sum of the profit. This is the reason why the harder you work does not translate to how much money you make. Many people are working for survival, not working to be wealthy, because if you want to be wealthy, there's a different approach to how you are going to work. Being wealthy is not just about working or working harder, just like people say, and that's the reason why many black community, they just believe that if you want to become wealthy, you need to wake up early and sleep late, and then everything revolving around being wealthy has to be around working without even knowing what you are doing. And then it's not good for you to start climbing ladder without ensuring that the ladder is leaning against the right wall. So many people, we are fond of working without knowing where the work that we are working is leading us to. That's why people will work 35 years in service, and at the end of the day, they only have small things to show for it. So there are 4 levels of creation according to the account of how we have it in Genesis chapter 1 and 2. That is the account of how God created heaven and earth. When we look to the Bible, we see that God used different ways of creating everything He created in Genesis 1 and 2. And then when we study it, we know that we have 4 different ways. And number 1 is imagination, and number 2 is communication, number 3 is collaboration, and number 4 is execution. I'm going to start from number 4 because that is the least way and the least productive way of creating anything that you wanted to create, right? So the least one is execution. In Genesis chapter 2 verse 7, and God formed a man from the dust and breathed into the nostrils, and man become a living soul. So when you check account of how God created everything from Genesis 1-2 down to Genesis 2, you discover that God has been creating many things. And when God wanted to create Adam, God involved execution. He doesn't just command, He did something, and then that is execution, right? So execution means that you are the one doing the real thing. In construction industries, laborers that handle the equipment, that handle the concrete walls, or any laborers, they are the one that execute the project. And then if you want to become wealthy, you are not going to be in the execution stage. That stage, you can only make money to feed yourself. You can't make money to be wealthy. And then we find some people, I don't want to work, I don't want to have a job, I want to create my business, and they created small business, and the business is already a decade old, and it's just that small. That is execution also, because literally you are the one doing everything in that your small business. You can make small money, you can pay some bills, you can migrate to middle class, but being wealthy is out of the way. And if you are not there, the business crash. So if you are creating a business, you have to know the model of your business. Does your business have system, or you are the system of your business? If you are the system of your business, it is not business, it is business. That is, you are just keeping yourself busy because you don't want to have a job. We have many ways of people stuck themselves in execution level without migrating to other better ways of creating wealth. The 3rd way of creating wealth is collaboration. And when you check the account in Genesis 1:26 and 27, God said, let us make a man in our own image. And then when man sinned against God, God said that man trying to become one of us, let us pursue man out of the Garden of Eden. That is the 2 ways that God collaborated to do something, right? And then if you want to make more money, just like execution, you are using your muscle and your time. Your muscle, your strength is limited, and your time is limited. So the amount of money that you are going to make is limited. And if you check the account, when God created Adam and Eve, He created just 2. That means if you are execution, your research is going to be minimal, right? And then collaboration, God collaborated to form man, say, let us make man in our own image. So that is collaboration. When you have a managerial skill to manage some people, you are not the one doing the real things, but you can manage them to do the real things. In your work, you are managing people that execute. That means you are using human efforts plus their time to make money. So you are limited. So if you want to make more money, you double your human effort to make more money. So that is the collaboration. You can still make more money than people that execute it. So in construction industry, just like I was saying earlier, collaboration, people that are making money using the collaboration process, they are the one giving instruction on site to the laborers on site. They are supervising the laborers, but they can make some money, but the money might keep them in middle class. They are not going to be very wealthy. They are not going to be very well because they cannot live that work. They have a degree of freedom, but they can still not live in that work, but it's better than execution level. And the second way of creating anything you want is communication. And then that is the reason why when you study Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, verse 5 to verse 28, you see, and God said, when God said, let there be light, there's light. And when God commanded that let there be stars, and then there's stars, billions of stars. And then when God said, God does not just create one, God creates it in billions. Estimated to be about 1 septillion stars in the universe, and septillion is 1 with 48 zeros. So when God just said, let there be stars, so that means God said, and then billions of stars are created. Septillions of stars are created. And when God said, let there be fish in the sea, we have billions of fish in the sea. And grass, let's say, let the ground comfort grass, we have trees, billions and billions of trees. So when God said, God created some things, and then he doesn't create it in 2, in 3, in 4, he created in billions. So if you want to make billions, just like the way God created things in billions, you must know how to use your mouth. You must communicate ideas. You must communicate information that people wanted to hear. That's the reason why you will see singers, you see A-list artists, they are communicating some things. If you want to be very wealthy, you must know how to learn to use your mouth to communicate. This is where you will see the rich people. The rich know how to communicate the idea. They know how to talk to the right people to get money so that they can use the money to do the business. They know how to use their mouth to form a network around themselves. They know how to use their mouth to woo people that are very qualified to their team. They know how to use their mouth to challenge people that are not doing something right in their company. They know how to use their mouth to communicate information. They know how to use their mouth to do presentation. I remember when I look at the Steve Jobs presentation, when he was about to introduce iPhone to the market, if you look at the presentation side, you will notice that this man has something there. So there's a way he communicated. When you look at Elon Musk will be telling you the statistic data of everything that he has invented as if he's the one doing it. So he was so informed, and then he was able to communicate the ideas. So Elon Musk can tell you what his robot can do, he can tell you what the Tesla car can do, and he can tell you what the Starlink can do, and the gigs and the speed of Starlink can tell you everything basically, because he can communicate his idea. So if you want to become very wealthy, because God said billions of stars were created, God said billions of fish were created. So if you want to create billions of things now, billions of dollars now, you must communicate to the good audience, and you must find information that you can communicate well. And the first level of creation is imagination. So that's the reason why communication and imagination works together. So because if you imagine, you communicate it, and then it now come to existence. Before you can imagine, there's a thinking that precedes imagination. Imagination and thinking is interwoven, and let me just go through that. When you think about something, then your thinking will now create a mental picture of what you are thinking about in your mind. That is called imagination. It is image of what you have thought about, and then imagination is so real in your brain that you can begin to feel the result, even if you don't have it now. Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich. So it means that if you can think it and you can imagine it, you can bring it forth to life. That's the secret weapon of the rich. The rich might not be able to work it. They might not be able to carry out the procedures, but they can think, they can imagine it, and they can communicate what they are thinking to the right people that can get it done. The rich people, they are using their money and they're using their brain to make more money. Warren Buffett can never go wrong because he used his brain when he was growing up, bought enough of land as a teenager, and he sold all the land, started buying the stock that are going down. So he has imagined that those stocks that are going down, they will one day come up. And then he began to buy all the companies that's in distress. He began to buy them. And when all those companies turned around, he was sure to be a billionaire. So the man has already imagined something, and then he communicated to the investors. The investor loaned him money, and he began to invest those money into the companies that are not doing well. And some of those companies went and they never recover, but some of those that recover shoot him to wealth. That is imagination. So you cannot imagine something good if you don't think well. You come to one of my teaching, think big. And then if you can think big, you can grow big. So in my next video, I will show you how the rich people use all the 4 levels of creation to create an empire to get wealth. Imagination, communication, collaboration, and execution. Those are the 4 ways to create wealth. But if you want to become wealthy, there's a way you position yourself. You are going to position yourself in communication and imagination side, and leave the collaboration and execution for others to handle that for you. That is the reason why people are getting richer. So if you see anybody that is wealthy and then is getting richer, you know that they are not as working as you are doing. They know what many people don't know. That's the reason why you see many Africans in abroad, they are stuck to execution. They don't float a company. They are working for hourly work. So you cannot be there and be wealthy. You can make some money, but you are going just making money for survival. Is not going to ensure that you are being wealthy. Do subscribe to my channel, click the like button and notification button to see my next video. Thank you.